Hail to all, this is Bear Nerd Fun. How are you doing? I got Shellback, I got Wes, and I got Tommy with me. How you guys doing?
Great. Considering.
Yeah.
Considering what?
Yeah, the big old, oh no, there's a big old pink elephant in the room.
Oh crap. Hold on. Wait.
I'm gonna say considering they only had low sodium bacon at the grocery store. God damn it.
That's
Sons of
interesting.
bitches.
How do you
Sons
make
of
low
bitches.
sodium bacon?
I don't know, but I imagine you probably have to cook that more quickly than you would. You can't leave that sitting around as long as bacon.
Wow, you know what's really weird? Oh yeah. No more beer. You know when it tells you how many people are watching in the command center? It says 0, but I know there's not 0.
Yeah, if you go
That's really weird.
Yeah, it said we had, a certain amount waiting and then it went down and now it's going back up again. Very strange.
Because I figured I was going to start way later. But hey, we're here.
Yep, no pink elephant here. So it's not going to be a good RR. The low sodium bacon. Damn. I've never had it before.
Oh yeah, I had coffee. Not the ass coffee, but I had real coffee. Yeah.
Crisis averted. I had one more left.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Got it, man. Saturday night, gotta have it.
Speaking of coffee, had to get a new coffee pot, man, coffee maker, because it died. And
Did you have Steven over there making coffee for himself?
I happen to have a stovetop percolator.
Oh.
And so when the coffee maker died, so yep, get the percolator out, put it on the stove.
Dude, I tell you what, that can actually be some of the best coffee ever.
Man, actually, I prefer it. Yeah.
Whether it's at home on the stove
or on a campfire.
Or yes, yeah.
Because that porcelain percolator, man, I can put that on a campfire,
Yeah.
And it was in an episode of oh man, what the hell was it in? I seen it in a TV show. One of those sci-fi like TV shows.
I'll tell you what, them old style coffee percolators, them real old ones that you put on the campfires and everything, they are completely approved by one person. One person.
I am fandom menace to the boat. I am your fandom menace. Story.
Yeah.
But
that almost made me snort like Christy.
Well, Christy has something to say about that as well. I mean,
I'm gonna regret doing this. Oh God! I'm not getting up. It's coffee.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, I had an experience. I got my wife her S7 had died. Power button was stopped working, and then all of a sudden it started working again, and it was pretty screwed up anyway. Been abused, so I got a G7 thin Q. Imagine that, and it's a real decent phone. It's got everything you need. I think it's got a similar processor that mine has, and so I went to get a SIM card for it, and I see the mask required on the door, and so I completely ignore that. I go in, and I can see that the dude at the T-Mobile store in Lacey, Washington, on Slater-Kenny Road, was a total douche. Tried to make me wear a mask. I was like, no, I'm not wearing a mask. He's like, well, then I can help you outside. I was honestly, I was quite indignant, and maybe I was a little bit of a dick. My New England that I carry around with me every now and then, it came out. It came out in full force, and I started talking basically like a New Yorker or something, you know. Because by the way, a lot of the people that I knew in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, they were all New Yorker transplants. Some of them were from Brooklyn, some of them were downtown New York, you know. And so a few choice, I threw some F-bombs out there, you know. And I was pissed that this punk is gonna try and make me wear a mask. And I wasn't overtly rude, but I did drop some F-bombs. And so he threatened to have me trespass and escorted off the property by a cop. I'm like, oh, really? I go, been a customer for 16 years. That's how you're going to treat a customer that's been customer for damn near 16 years, huh? And so I called customer service. And the lady was very nice. She apologized for the guy being rude. Can't take a couple F-bombs here and there, you know. And I told her I did. You know, I was honest, you know. And I told her I just wanted to get a SIM card. You know, I didn't want no hassle. I didn't want to be made to wear no mask. And so she gave me a free SIM card and free expedited shipping. And she was very nice, very pleasant.
All right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, good customer service experience with T-Mobile. And so my wife will have to wait until Tuesday to get her phone up and going. But yeah, decent little freaking phone, man. Nice.
Yep. I think the only difference really is that it doesn't have the curve, right? The curved screen.
No curved screen. Nope.
I don't think you really need a curved screen. I find it to be kind of annoying sometimes.
I find it very annoying. That's why I got the Samsung Galaxy S8 Active. No curved screen.
Casino. Culture Casino. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I refuse to go in Walmart because they make you stand in line like it's the goddamn Soviet Union. Last I checked, this is the United States of America here on the soil, and nobody should have to goddamn wait in fucking line to go in the store. Then, to me, as far as I'm concerned, you're impeding my path to prosperity because food is prosperity. I got to eat, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, my prosperity was being blocked. And the first time I went in there, I says, nope. And I was waiting in line, and nobody was there. I was sitting there. The guy just going to make me wait there in line. This was when I first discovered that they were making people wait in line, standing 6 feet apart. And so I look at the guy. I go, what is this? The fucking Soviet Union, man? I go, there's nobody in front of me. Let me get in the goddamn store and get what I got to get. And I was straight up honest with the guy, man. Don't impede my path. And he goes, go ahead. You know? All it takes is for a whole bunch of people to take this shit and put up with it. You know? I ain't gonna. Sorry. I'm not gonna put up with bullshit when I see bullshit.
They already have.
Yeah, and people got to start saying something. You know, if you don't say something, people won't wake up.
Your silence gives consent.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't be silent.
Speaking of consent, I hope Steven doesn't mind that I borrowed his avatar.
I was wondering when you were going to say something about that.
You know, I've talked to a lot of people that are in medical, and they all like they don't wear masks. They don't think that masks are necessary.
And everybody in the CDC, they've changed their minds so many times. You know what they're saying about masks now?
This week?
Yeah. They're saying that they're like not 100% effective. That they really won't do anything for you, especially the cheap, flimsy ones. Even the N95 masks. You know, a virus is microscopic.
Well, Bear, have you seen some of the new masks that they've actually been putting out now on the market? They're putting out these new masks now. They're basically almost the same thing. They're just a rag over your damn mouth goes to your ear with rubber band, but it's got a motherfucking face shield over the eyes. I shit you not. I seen these things today when I was like browsing for an article. I was like, what?
I've seen places, or I've seen people in like the local Walmart and other places. Not everybody, but some people are actually wearing, like you said,
full face shields.
Yeah, yeah.
It's stupid, dumb shit. That's all that is.
I mean, it's. Yeah, like if somebody like actually walks up to you and just freaking sneezes right in your face, yeah, sure. But and I don't know, I think Bear's been the same way. But I've not worn a mask this entire time, right? Nowhere that I have been have I worn a mask. And fortunately, I didn't run into somebody with an attitude like he did at the phone store. But I mean, I'm just fine. I don't believe that I've come down with any sickness whatsoever, and. So, I'm not saying that the beer bug thing. I'm not saying the beer bug thing doesn't exist, but it's definitely not as bad as what it has been hyped up to be. But it's too late now. People have been indoctrinated. They've been
big time.
They've already convinced most of the population that
Hey,
anyway,
all those masks, whether they're the N95 or whether the cheap ones, read the fine print. Just read the fine print. It don't block everything out. Sure, N95 is better than the others, but it's not going to block out a microscopic virus. It will get through an N95 mask. Look at the warnings.
Hey, Bear.
Yeah.
Did you see RR's comment? I bought a V for Vendetta mask for work and wore a Soviet cap. Then I played the Soviet anthem while in line to get my temperature taken. Now they let me take it at home and I don't have to wear the mask.
Nice.
You're going to have to start doing that. Everybody should do that.
Well done, comrade. Well done.
Everybody.
Is that real? Seriously, I gotta ask. Is that for real, or are you just like, was that just a good story? Be honest now. Be honest. Did you really do that, or is that bullshit? You don't got a lot to kick it with us, okay?
Well,
you don't.
Here's the thing.
What?
There was a military guy in uniform that was going in the T-Mobile store, and I flagged him down and talked to him for a little bit. You know what he told me? Basically, where's the OSHA comment? Let me see. Where'd it go? Damn, it jumped. All right. Now, all ADA mandates and HIPAA laws have been suspended. OSHA, to do with masks, do with the virus, have probably been suspended. That's what the military guy told me. He told me all medical rights to do with masks, not wearing masks, have been suspended.
Interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he told me. Because they're all fucking working active duty right now.
No.
I'm got a feeling he was from Fort Lewis.
Well, the thing is, we're supposed to be in what? At least phase 2 of the, going back to normal shit.
Yeah,
right?
I think Washington State just went to phase 2.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's what I got to say. Fuck the phase 2. Fuck the phase 3. Fuck the phase 4. Fucking open up. Enough of the bullshit. Enough.
Well, they're not going to, Bear. You watch. Here's what's going to happen. I've already seen numerous articles where they're talking about it, and this is coming from like the higher up in the freaking chain, where they're talking about we are getting a second wave of this virus, and record numbers of people are getting sick again, and they expect that this is going to carry over until mid to late 2021. This is what they are pushing. They want to keep everything shut down because they want civil unrest. And if they
don't want Trump to win the election.
That's it.
That's straight up truth. Because he's going against everything they believe.
He's going against the globalists.
They want a socialist, globalist economy worldwide, and they want to destroy everyone's economy. And you know what? Personally, I like my Constitution. You know? And if they're trying all of a sudden, you know, because it's already proven they're a bunch of hypocrites, the media, completely. Because all of a sudden, all these protesters not wearing masks and they're not saying a thing about it. And then,
it's not even that.
And then the next day they're saying something, and then all the protesters are wearing masks. I'm like, oh, did you guys get your updated script or what?
Well, it's not even that though. Like, you know, you see them. What was it? I don't know what it was, but I saw something with my own eyes in black and white that says, you know, like if you want to have like a personal gathering, say like you want to have a family barbecue tomorrow for Father's Day, you want to have a barbecue. They don't want you to have any more than 12 people. But if you want to go out and protest for freaking Black Lives Matter, you can have up to 100 people.
Oh, yeah, that's all good then.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
Yep.
A toxic man flow, it's not just if Trump loses, it's if the Democrats take control of the House. If the Democrats take control of the House, that's when they will probably stop it.
Well, they do have the House majority. They don't have the Senate.
They're going to lose it. With as poorly as they performed, and with the draconian stuff that they pulled in the lockdown, if people don't wake up from that alone, man, this country's lost.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem, Bear. I don't know if you caught any of the recent polls that they've been doing. It started off, most people did not approve of the riots and shit that were going on, right? Between the riots and the protests, most people didn't approve of it. Ever since they like destroyed freaking that CHOP or Chaz or whatever the hell they want to call it now, ever since they freaking did that shit, believe it or not, support for it has grown. More sheep are being led by the freaking mainstream media and the believing that this is the norm, this is the new norm, and this is the way we should expect things to happen. Yeah, but it's happening across the board in enough places where this could actually potentially cause major problems and ramifications for every freaking party out there other than the socialist Democrats. They're getting enough stupid people to stand in line and shovel shit into their mouth. Sorry, Steven, I'm using your line. But they got enough people shoveling shit in their mouth now that, yeah, they're buying into this crap.
Yeah, it's all propaganda, that's for sure.
Me and Immortal Coil are planning a trip to Seattle for next weekend.
Yeah, man, that sounds like it's got hair all over it. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, man, any kind of big cities, man, I'm steering clear.
We're gonna do our best to look like we voted blue.
Really? You got booted? Weird.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, I know some shit just went down in the Chaz.
Oh, some bad
Um,
stuff, man. Bad
yeah.
stuff.
But yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, we're planning on taking a trip over there next weekend and see if we can like talk to some people. I don't think we're actually going to try to go into Chaz or Chop or whatever the fuck they want to call it by next weekend. But yeah, I mean, I really want to find the superheroes. I want to talk to the superheroes. So yeah,
That'd be cool. What part of the country are you in, Shellback?
dude, I'm like a hour. I'm like an hour ferry ride away from Seattle.
Ah, okay. I was thinking of driving up to Portland and checking that out, but that's like a 9-hour drive for me.
Yeah. Well, depending, like where I live, I can either hop a ferry and be in Seattle in about hour and a half. Because I mean, it you know, takes time to get from my town to another town to Seattle. Or I could just get in the car and drive down and around, and it'd be about, you know, an hour and a half to 2 hours, probably.
Well, Shellback, I got some advice for you. You guys are going to do that. Here's what you need to do. You need to get shirts. One of either. It could either be AOC or it could be Kamala Khan. Wear that shit. You'll be fine.
I don't think that, dude. I wouldn't be able to. I would chew off my own arm to get away from myself in bed. Okay. like seriously, like I would go to bed and the next morning I would chew off my own arm so I wouldn't wake myself up, so I could get out of the apartment. Okay. Yeah. But Coyote Ugly, man. Coyote Ugly. One of the best movies ever.
That was a good movie, man. That was. I gotta say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about going up in Seattle and all that. I don't know about that. I myself, you know.
Well, honestly, like seriously, I have like absolutely no reason to go there ever, unless I was going to a game. Other than that, I could give two shits about the city of Seattle. I really could.
Is the gum wall in the Chaz?
What?
The gum wall. Seattle has a gum wall. You know, you stick gum to it.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Centuries.
I don't know. This is how little I actually go to Seattle. Okay, I have no idea. I live here. I live in the state of Washington, and I don't know a lot of this shit about Seattle because I don't give a shit about Seattle. I don't like Seattle. I don't like cities.
Yeah, I don't either.
Me neither. I live in a small.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about all the stuff that's recently coming out of there when they're talking about that guy who was in the Chaz, who I guess he was working security or whatever the hell it was, where he shot and killed somebody. That was the latest story that came out, and you know, for whatever reason, the socialist Democrats, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Well, they didn't get to this one, and it got through.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, you cut out there.
Yeah, well, it's probably the Democrats. They're goose stepping around.
Yeah.
They're trying to silence me.
You know what's funny? It's something else that I saw. It was I think it was a news clip from the Five, from Fox News, you know, and anyway, you know, I mean, all this stuff is going on in Seattle, but in Olympia, Bear, you may have heard of this. The mayor of Olympia.
Yep. Talked about it.
She had, and you know, you watch the video, and she's got a freaking little piece of cardboard or something with BLM written on it in the window, right? in the window. And yet you still have some freaking turd nugget come up to her house and spray BLM crap all over her freaking the front of her house. You know, just straight up freaking black spray paint all over her nice green paint on her fucking house. Yeah.
Well,
So-
there was
They
also
don't care. They don't care.
The same incident that you're talking about. There was a guy with a torch. He was going to try and burn her house down. I forget the gentleman's name, but the Republican candidate for mayor that was running against her put a stop to it. God of his.
Yeah, but and you know, and it's like I said in that one tweet that I swear I got like shadow banned or something because like I actually had to put it into one of the private chat rooms, and you know Tommy like saw it and liked it.
Man, get out of here. Go somewhere.
Yeah, but
I'm back.
You know, like I said, I wasn't here. I was still living on the other side of the country when freaking these people got elected into office, right? So I didn't vote them into office, but you can bet I'm going to do my damnedest to vote them out. You know, and like I can't, I don't live in Seattle, so I can't vote out the mayor of Seattle. But by God, I can cast a ballot against freaking Governor Jay Inslee.
Yep. He's handled everything very badly.
Yeah. Newsom doesn't exactly get any awards for handling it well down here, you know.
Yeah.
I do love where I live. My two counties made international news by opening up early. So, well, hey.
Well, maybe you live in like an actual okay part of California. I don't know.
Yeah, I live in like one of 3 okay parts, I think.
Me personally, California as a whole, yeah, you can have it. I think the last time I actually wanted to go to California was, I don't know. Well, when was Baywatch on the air? In the 90s.
Oh, yeah, it was in the 90s, yep. Well, yeah, see, 21 of the counties have already voted to leave the state of California. Unfortunately, our Constitution says that you have to have consent of the state to do that. So every time they try to get a ballot measure on, they did have enough signatures for it to make the ballot. And our Supreme Court stepped in and said, no, those signatures aren't really valid. So we're just not going to put it on the ballot.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bunch of BS.
Oh, they do it all the time, unfortunately. For certain things, it doesn't make it on the ballot.
That doesn't happen up here.
Well,
that's kind of a good thing because a lot of the writing campaigns for things that get put on the ballot for those of us to vote for them or vote against them, it works really good.
Would that be by some chance? Would that be called the Hotel California law?
We lost Tommy.
You know, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
I guess. I think it's called just business as usual here, corruption. But yeah, the northern counties of California are trying to form the state of Jefferson.
Speaking of Jefferson, what is it? I think it was in Portland or somewhere? There's a Jefferson High School or something, and it had a statue of Jefferson out in front of it.
Yeah, they tore it down. They tore it down, and then they spray painted the back of the
hey, Drew.
The back of the wall Drew. Where it used to be.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. I caught some of the stream that you and Bear were on earlier on Sporking News Scott's channel. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Do you like my tinfoil hat? That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
Hey, Shellback. There was someplace else they did the same thing. Do you remember seeing that one where they tore down a statue?
I mean, I've seen a few things. I saw one where I can't remember what the statue was. I think it was like a Confederacy statue of somebody. But anyway, they pulled it down and the fucking thing fell right on top of somebody and sent him to the hospital.
Yep.
Well, they went after the Lincoln Memorial, and they also went after they went after. Now get this one. This is the best. This is how these Antifa idiots think. Antifa and these crazy left wingers. So they went and they defaced, and I don't know if they broke apart part of it or they destroyed some of it, but it was actually a Michigan Volunteer Regiment statue from the Civil War. The Michigan Volunteer statue that was up there was for black volunteers during the Civil War, and they defaced that.
Yeah.
This is how smart these people are.
Yeah. Not very.
They're very much uninformed about history.
Yeah, they don't do any research. This is all planned and targeted, and it's a message that they're sending because they don't want any sort of dissent. They want everybody to comply. They're browbeating people in a psychological way right now by doing all this. And it's working because nobody's coming out. Not enough people are coming out speaking out against it. You know what? The fucking Republicans that we put in Congress, you know, and I'm a registered Republican, these motherfuckers aren't doing shit. They ran away and fucking, you know, they're not saying anything because they're scared to get on the wrong side of the mob right now. And it's a shame because, you know, they're supposedly the people that are supposed to stand up for freedom right now. The only goddamn person that's actually speaking out against it is the president. That's it. I mean, you know, it's Congress is an embarrassment right now. Drew,
they're actually, believe it or not, somebody actually found his balls again and has decided to stand up and he's going back after, I was talking about it earlier, he's going back after Google and YouTube for violations of free speech, and that's Ted Cruz.
Yeah, but dude, he's only one guy. That's what I'm saying. We need.
Yeah, but it only takes one, Drew. It only takes one to start a fire. Once you start a fire, you can get other people to join in. It's like you going to have a campfire. You start that campfire by yourself. Maybe one person trickles in and they say, hey, there's a party going on over there, and more people show up. It only takes that one person. It only takes that one person to freaking stand out and say, hey, I'm going to start this and I'm going to try to make something happen of this.
Well, I want to say I love and respect Shellback because, you know, Shellback is a veteran. He's served this country. He is a patriot through and through, and I love the guy.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I want to say, look, guys, we need to keep doing what we're doing. I said this on Scott's stream. We need to just keep going and speaking out against this, you know, because maybe, sure, we're small channels. We don't have the voice and the reach like somebody like Tim Pool does. But if we jump into the fire, if we start saying what we need to say and keep on doing it, we are going to get the word out and wake people up. And that's all that we can do. But we need to wake people up. We need to get some new blood, you know, in political positions, local, you know, state, federal, you know, start, you know, running for city council, start running for, you know, state seats, things like that, you know, get citizens in there to represent the citizens because, you know, I'm telling you what, guys, politicians have left us behind. They have forgotten that, you know, they have a duty to represent the citizens. That's what they're there for. That's what
Drew,
we're for them for.
You know what they've done? Well, they have failed this country. Well, Drew, hold on, Wes. Just give me 1 second, bro. All right, so here's the thing with all that. You got to remember this. When you're talking about opposition, when you're talking about that opposition, you say, well, we're just small channels and, you know, we're not getting the reach of some of the other people's. Each opposition starts with one single lone voice. Every single one. It doesn't matter what it is. It always starts with a single voice. That's all you need to start it. I'm sorry, Wes. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I concur. We're making up. I think we're making up a lot of ground. I think we are changing a lot of hearts and minds by getting out there and speaking our mind and asking questions. Good questions.
Yes. Ask questions. That's a really good thing to do.
When they defaced the Korean War Memorial in D.C., first couple nights that the riot started, and they started in on Arlington National Cemetery, I was appalled. My dad is buried in Arlington National Cemetery. I take that personally, and that I think that to me was when I blew my top and said, F this. I am going to dedicate every breath I have to speaking out against this, because I'm not going to let the legacy that my father left, serving 30 years, 3 different branches. He was in World War II. He was in Korea. He was in Nam. He was he was part of Desert Shield originally. He did some consulting work for Desert Shield. My dad had a decorated fucking military career, and I am not going to let these assholes shit all over that. No way.
Hey, you know how my grandfather came here from Mexico? He joined the U.S. military, U.S. Army.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got his citizenship. It was just after World War II.
Well,
a lot of people do that.
Well, I'm not gonna let that shit just.
My uncle Richard, he was in Nam.
Yeah.
When I was 21, my friend Tony Pizzolatto, he was in Nam. I was 21 when he passed away from complications.
A lot of
suffered.
a lot of
it was just after World War II.
Yeah, a lot of Filipino people. That's how they gained their U.S. citizenship, is by joining the U.S. military.
My Filipino brothers and sisters, baby, hell yeah.
Did you guys hear that weird echo?
When?
It was weird. I heard myself twice for a second or two, and then it went away.
Yeah. That was actually me, Bear. I was opening up the computer so I can go ahead and post some links.
I was like, how'd that happen?
So that's your lineage there, then, Drew. At least part of it, huh?
Well, yeah, I'm Filipino.
Can you hook me up with some lumpia?
Dude, I was completely born here in Ohio. I've never even seen the island. I don't speak Tagalog. I just one of these days I'm gonna go check it out because I want to connect with that part of my life.
How in the world do you ever expect to join the Filipino mafia with credentials like that? Come on.
Hey man, I'm just an American. That's what I am.
I'm starting to get hungry now for lumpia.
Dude, I tell you what, man, freaking Filipino cooking, lumpia, adobo,
yeah, I was in the Bay Area with for work and some of my Filipino colleagues. They knew of this Filipino food restaurant, and I was like, that was the only one I've ever been to. And it was like it was great, man. It was spicy, it was salty. They had this like blood stew that it sounds gross, but it tasted great.
Yeah, our hit it, and he's got it right here because in the bigger picture, and I want to do a stream about this about one of these days, Wes, about McCarthy and McCarthyism, because I think he had it right back then. Funny enough, we talk about communism, we talk about McCarthyism, the Red Scare, things like that, but on principles, he had it right. He called what was coming because eventually, people that have very close to communist sympathies has slowly infiltrated the government on both sides. And that's why we have such a problem right now, because they are now coming out and unmasking themselves and it's just a massive operation to lead us into that. They want to lead us into an authoritarian system. I mean, you guys can see it. You guys in the chat are absolutely A+ smart. You guys can see it. You know what's going on. And we can all see what's happening. They're policing thought. They're policing speech. Censorship is on the rise. Big tech is in on it. And it's just right now a huge movement to basically get rid of history, get rid of everything that defines American culture and American what it means to be an American. And we need to
it's very Orwellian.
We need to fight for our identity right now, because we are going to lose the identity of this country if we don't fight back.
Oh yeah,
Drew.
Just to add to what was said earlier about. Oh, sorry, Bear. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, just to add to what was said earlier about running for local elections. You know, folks, start Googling, start looking up the resumes of the people that are your district attorney, that are your council people.
Citizens are more qualified.
And look at where they went to school, who they're related to. Start looking at that stuff, folks. And it should make you a little mad. And maybe that'll encourage you to run for local elections, because it's pretty eye-opening once you start digging into that stuff.
We need new blood. If we're going to win this, we need new blood, and we need to reform the government the right way. I mean, we got a president that'll do that right now, but he can't do it by himself. If he has no support, he's screwed.
Hey, I think we know that's not going to happen, because there's a plan in action. It's happening as we speak, but you know, it's really hard to talk about that, you know, on this kind of platform. But trust me.
But in general, you know, I think we all understand what's at stake here. Many of the audience right now, and big shout out to V-Star, big shout out to RR and Nano Horizon and everybody else that's chilling out there. Appreciate you guys. Tox, thank you for helping me out. I appreciate that. It's been it's one of these things where the more that we get the word out, the more that we're going to have an effect, and we already are having an effect.
So I just want to respond to what Toxic Man Flu just put there. We need a secret society to chip away at their power. No, Toxic Man Flu. We need an open society to chip away at their secret society.
Yep.
Sunshine is the best disinfectant.
You need to vote for me. You need to vote for me, or else we're screwed.
Because that's how they do things, is with secret societies. Oh, you're cheating on your wife. Okay. Oh, you're in this nasty business deal with this person. Okay, we know about it.
You want to hear something funny? My 5-year-old, a couple weeks ago, one morning, comes to me, and he's got the crinkle in the eyebrow, and he's got the professor face going on. He's in professor mode. He goes, "I had a dream. You were wearing, my favorite color, blue. You see the bar right there, and I was wearing a blue suit, probably a red shirt with a blue tie." And he said that I had become president of the United States. And that was his dream. I was president.
Toxic, you are my love.
I'd vote for you, Bear.
Yeah. And you know, dreams are a funny thing when it comes to my mom's side of the family. Everybody, especially the women on my mom's side of the family, they dream things and they come true. And so everybody on my mom's side of the family, they've got some gifts here and there that pop up every now and then. And if my mom ever says she has a dream, she tells me about it, I'm in it. Trust me, I'm listening.
Well, you know, the thing is we're gonna beat the globalists, folks. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to beat the globalists, even if we have to eat our neighbors.
Mao took the guns. Stalin took the guns. And if you try to take our firearms, 1776 will commence. Do
Where's
you
the
understand?
Where's the gender? Oh,
That's
But
next.
you know what I think is absolutely hysterical about all this? This is what I think is hysterical. So when they came after different forms of media, when they came after comic books, nobody said nothing. When they came after movies, some people started to say something. When they started coming after TV shows, more people started to get vocal. But for the most part, nobody is really taking it serious. How many people have you seen in different chats where they say, hey, well, I've heard enough of this SJW stuff. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm tired of hearing it. You've seen it in plenty of chats because there's plenty of people who just think that it's not really a problem and that it's just a select minority of people bitching about something that doesn't really exist. Now, as you're starting to see, they're branching out to their cancel culture ways. And now they want to get rid of Mrs. Butterworth. They want to get rid of Aunt Jemima. They already got rid of the American Indian on the Land of Lakes. They want to get rid of the cream of wheat. I mean, they want to get rid of Eskimo pies because apparently that's offending some Inuit people. I mean, where does it stop? Where does it stop before people wake up and realize, hey,
I didn't even know Mrs. Butterworth was black. Second of all, what's wrong with a cool bottle like that?
Yeah, they're going in. Listen, they're going after.
No, I think Mrs. Butterworth is white. Now, Aunt Jemima is
they're both black. They're both black.
Really?
Hey, fellas.
Butterworth was
Yes.
black. I thought Mrs. Butterworth was like some nice old lady, some nice old black lady. Like my grandma.
Nope.
Fellas,
What?
a little something that you may not be aware of. If you've done a search for something sensitive on Twitter, your search settings, go in there and unclick hide sensitive content and unclick remove blocked and muted accounts. Don't unclick that.
Oh, no. I hope I don't get some weird shit.
Unclick hide sensitive.
Well, I can
So
tell
that
you.
way, when you search stuff on Twitter to do with what we're talking about, you can actually find it.
I can tell you this too, folks. Everybody in chat. If you use Chrome, whatever browser you use, for God's sakes, use DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is really, really good. That's the search engine that you want. It has good privacy, and it'll give you at least a bit of peace of mind. DuckDuckGo is definitely the anti-Google. They actually like they actually like privacy. But the thing that I was saying before though is, hey, they're coming after everything. They're coming after Joe Rogan now, because Joe Rogan made a joke about he was interviewed. I forget who he was interviewing, but they were talking about getting essentially getting chicks to hook up with you or whatever, and people got offended by that joke, and now they're going after Joe Rogan just because he made a joke about coercing women into sex, and it's like, are you serious right now? It's a fucking joke.
But yet those same people would be totally feel like they're justified in, say, making a joke about me, the Donald, taking it up the ass with a freaking strap on. They'd be like, Donald Trump just got cuffed.
Well, I mean, all you have to do, if you want to know how far that, the late night talk show hosts have jumped the shark and everybody like that, all you guys need to do is go back on YouTube, look at classic clips of Johnny Carson. That was a real talk show host. And you know, and the thing is sure, everybody, comedians use make fun of government officials. It's always been that way, but it was never in a malicious sense.
Right. Well, like Stephen Colbert. Okay, right. I'm gonna pick on him particularly. Stephen Colbert. I used to think Stephen Colbert was funny, like the Colbert Report. Dude, he was hilarious. But when he started doing the Late Show or whatever, and especially after freaking Trump got elected, dude, he at first it was like okay, but in the last couple of years, Stephen Colbert is like not funny whatsoever.
No,
I mean he's just not.
He sits there.
Most of them aren't.
He sits there every night in his monologue, just bitching. That's all he does. He just sits there and bitches in his monologue about Orange Man bad, Orange Man bad, Orange Man bad.
Yeah, and the Daily Show, right? When Stewart was on there, it was freaking awesome.
It was good.
But Trevor Noah. Dude, Trevor Noah is fucking trash.
He's retarded.
He's fucking trash.
Oh yeah, he's one of the worst offenders when it comes to that. Same thing with Seth Meyers, dude. Seth Meyers and Jimmy Kimmel do it too. I mean, it's horrible. It's funny if you look on the other side of that. If you remember the old man show, Kimmel and Carolla. Because Adam Carolla is actually
dude. Adam Carolla is still golden.
He's a patriot, dude. Yeah. You don't fuck around.
Adam Carolla is the shit. I love him.
Who was the other one? Was it Seth Rogen or Seth Green or what the hell was that?
You're thinking about Seth Meyers, Tommy.
Yeah.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
For what?
Are you thinking of Conan O'Brien? He don't really do too much political stuff, but I think he's anti-Trump too.
No, it's Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen. He's another one of those types too.
No, Seth Rogen.
Well, as
our side,
actor, he is. We're talking more about the late night talk show host. So.
Or no, Joe Rogan.
I'm just talking about people who they fit that same mentality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, I was saying. I
was getting my Rogans mixed up there. Sorry.
Yeah. I was saying that on the other show before we got on this stream that I'm at the point personally as a person that watches movies, TV, plays video games. I'm at the point personally I have to go like backwards and be in a bubble of nostalgia and play stuff that I know was good, because anything that's coming out after this is not good. There's no the message is all pro this agenda, and it's forced down your throat. It's terrible. I just can't do it, and I lost so much respect for a lot of actors and actresses because they're just jumping on this bandwagon, and a lot of it's fake. We know a lot of it's fake because they're jumping on the bandwagon so that they don't get cancel mobs coming after them. But the funny thing is though, there's a lot of them that drank the Kool-Aid, and they're just so fucking annoying. And I lost so much respect for not only actors and actresses, but people that some of the developers that make games. They're deliberately ruining good franchises just to virtue signal. It's terrible.
Sorry, I'm feeling a little toxic right now, so I had to put up my toxic masculinity avatar.
Yeah, and you know what? And you're damn right, Shellback. We should be fucking toxic because back when we were growing up, and I'm saying this for the Gen X people here. Back when we were growing up in the '80s, you know, people understood context. There wasn't this whole thing like, you can't joke, you can't do this, you can't do this. Oh my God, that's offensive. People.
Well, hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. You know. I mean, when you're talking about that, you're talking about the childhood that a lot of people our age completely understand. I mean, look at the way that they treat kids now. When we were growing up, we had big wheels, we had green machines, we had shit that would get you fucked up if you weren't fucking watching what we were doing. We had kabangers. We had kabangers that were pretty much modified bolos. These things were weapons, but they were a kid's toy to play with. Like if you tossed a set of kabangers or what would they call them, click clacks also. If you tossed them at somebody, you could fuck somebody up.
Oh,
now you can't have that shit anymore. We had candy cigarettes. Well, you can't have that anymore because that promotes smoking. That offends me. I mean, this is the kind of nonsense we've been heading to for a long time.
Do you know how many
really brand new?
Do you know how many packs?
You don't sit Indian style. You sit crisscross applesauce. You know all that stuff.
Do you know how many packs of candy cigarettes? Oh man.
Oh yeah, those are huge.
I had to go on the patch, dude. It was that bad.
Well, you know, yeah, exactly. We had a childhood that was about fun, but the most part, the biggest part of it was, you know, we.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, lawn darts. Sorry.
We were the generation of also like latchkey kids. We were taught to take care of ourselves, and we were taught to have accountability. Our parents taught us consequences when, you know, we did shit wrong. We learned the difference between right and wrong, and you know, we got pushed by our sports coaches, by our parents, you know, by our teachers.
Yeah.
We got. You know, we were taught accountability.
See,
and that's gone out the window. You have a generation running wild right now that is entitled and has zero knowledge of accountability. They will not take any responsibility, and they don't understand what it means to be accountable for anything.
Well, not only that, but they get awards for coming in 11th place in a 10-person race. This is the type of mentality that is being raised. You know, the type of kids, this is their mentality. This is how they're being raised today.
Where's my trophy?
That they're going to get an award for nothing.
Give me my trophy.
You failed, you're getting rewarded. You succeeded, well, you know, we're going to say you did good, but we don't want to make you feel too good because that's going to make the people who failed feel worse. This is their mentality. It's sad. I mean, the next thing you know, kids are going to be going outside and they're going to be bubble wrapped from head to toe.
You know, and I was disappointed, right? I was disappointed back in the day, right? When I didn't like place in the top 3 or whatever and got a trophy. I was fucking disappointed as fuck.
So all
But it gave you something to work towards.
So
you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So here's where it's all going. Okay, it's the lowest common denominator. It's better than nothing. You know, it's everybody equalize. You know, it's the socialism. You know, it's equalizing everybody, but it doesn't equalize. You know, it doesn't allow for the best. It's everybody has to be at a certain level, and that's usually, you know, towards the bottom, not towards the top. And you know, it's going to stifle that innovation as time goes on, and generations that don't know how to do this stuff or participated or non-participate in, I guess, in this system. It's you know, it's going to be idiocracy is what it's going to be.
I mean, if you want something for showing up, give them a fucking T-shirt or something.
Hey,
you know?
Has anybody heard Dennis Leary chime in about anything lately?
No.
That's too bad. I'd like to hear him cracking some jokes, you know.
Jesus, man! Any comedians right now are scared to crack jokes because they don't want to get canceled either.
Yeah, right.
Any of them that are any good, anyway.
Yeah.
I thought Bill Burr did a pretty good routine pretty recently.
Mm. Oh yeah, I like Bill Burr.
His Netflix special. I thought that was pretty decent. But yeah, by and large, yeah. I mean, it's rough to be a comedian right now. Oh
What-
no!
didn't,
What did you say about black
Cat-
people or trans people? And it's like, what? What are you talking about?
Dude, okay.
Didn't Bill Maher recently come out and say something against the whole cancel culture thing?
I believe.
Yeah, he
so.
did. He did. Yeah.
And that's kind of funny because he's always been extremely
Yeah.
left leaning.
And that's
Never
another
too late
guy.
to wake up, I guess, eh?
Well, at one time he claimed to have been a libertarian, but I don't know. He certainly isn't now.
That's another guy that I don't think has been funny for, I don't know, 10 years or better, is freaking Bill Maher. Yeah,
Well,
he's just.
I'd say 5 years, but yeah, I hear you.
I think things are going to get worse before they get better, but I don't think we're going to see
How much worse can they be? You know,
a collapse like what Mano Horizon is saying. I don't think it's going to be like that. Because believe it or not, there's things. Hold on, Tommy. Believe it or not, there are things going on in the background that are really good, and just keep in prayer, man. Put prayer toward these people that are doing good work.
Bear. I mean, personally, I think we're at the peak of it right now. I mean, don't you think so?
Yeah, you know, like someone in a certain forum said, their plays are limited. They played their last to the second play. You know, what more? There's probably another thing they can pull. You know, the lockdown, the COVID, the pink elephant didn't work. And so, you know, let's start a protest and a riot and all that. And, you know, and these people in blue states, the Empower, they've been absolutely nothing but approving of it. And, you know, and that's gonna, everyone's going to see that. Everyone's going to see that, you know, and, you know, keep things in prayer. And, you know, I'm not a Christian, but I pray native way. I believe prayer is a powerful thing. Keep praying for good. You know, that's all I can say. Keep praying for good. What doesn't matter whether you're Christian or something else, Buddhist or not. Keep praying for good. That's all I can say. Because good's coming. Just we all got to be patient because it's going to happen. And it is happening. You know, I haven't been tuning into this thing for the last 5 years for nothing. You know, and there's a saying, how many coincidences does it take to create facts? You know what I'm saying? Coincidences, when they happen over and over and over again, just check the coincidences out. It'll point the way, literally.
Exactly, Bear. I mean, they call us conspiracy theorists, but if you look at it, you must really be one hell of a coincidence theorist to believe some of the shit that the people connected and the people funding it and this and that and how it's all interconnected. You have to just think that set of circumstances with those set of folks is really one hell of a coincidence.
Hail Snowdub.
And I've never
Hail
really
Snowdub.
been Hail Snowdub. I've never really been much of a conspiracy theorist type person. You know, because like, to be honest, most of the time I really just don't have time for that shit. But you know, with the way things have been going this year, you know, it's like you almost can't help but think, you know, it's like, what the fuck, you know, what the fuck, you know, it's like.
Well,
you know what I think is funny about this whole conspiracy thing that they're always trying to push. Now the left is sitting there pushing this whole conspiracy thing. These people that are conspiracy theorists, they're just looking to bring us down, and they're bringing their toxicity to the table. Yet they sit there with their same bullshit, and they say, well, this ain't a conspiracy, but we think that Aunt Jemima is racist and it's oppressing people. And we think that comics are oppressing people because there's just not enough representation in there. And your movies are oppressing us too because we think that there's some kind of socio-political agenda sitting behind these characters that we see up on the screen. So they have to be censored as well. They're doing the same shit, basically, with their conspiracies that they're sitting there trying to call everybody else out for. When they try to call people like us out and say, well, you're just conspiracy nuts, they're doing the same fucking shit. And they're so blind that they can't see it. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. These people are no better than freaking Nazi fascists. That's all they really are. You know,
exactly.
if they started marching up and down the street tomorrow, goose stepping, I would not fucking be surprised. Not in the least.
No, it's right
They
now.
are.
Right now, between using tech platforms and now with these autonomous zones, they are trying to browbeat people into submission.
Hey, Drew.
Yes.
Who knew 3 days before the lockdown was going to happen?
Oh, we talked about that, Barry.
Yeah. But who knew? Who was telling folks in the background?
Yeah, I know.
Me. I was sent some documents by people in the medical field that they received from FEMA, and my brother-in-law received a travel permit here in Washington State. He works about 5 blocks away from CHOP in Seattle. He's a security guard, and so he's not in danger zone, but he sees some really crazy stuff when he's up there. When he rides a bus in, rides a bus out, you know, and he sees some crazy stuff. So far, he hasn't been able to grab me no pictures, but he knows I want some, and so if he sees something pretty bizarre, he's going to send me some photographs that he take with his phone.
Well, I'm telling you now, especially those of you that are Gen Xers, man, the censorship ain't going to stop either. They're going to start coming after, some of the classic movies we loved in the 80s.
Well, they already are. They're starting with they're starting with the older movies, but they're also going after the 80s TV shows like the Dukes of Hazzard. Matter of fact, I was on John Schneider's on his channel like maybe about 4 or 5 days ago maximum, because he had a big thing about the Confederate, is it racist being on that car? And he wanted to know people's thoughts. And I was in the chat, and I was just, in his comment section, just chatting it up with a few people. And then some guy stepped in and decided to get all offended about it and saying, well, it's racist because this, that, and the other. And then somebody was trying to talk common sense to him. He didn't want to hear it. He started calling him a fucktard. And I said, dude, don't you have like a tree to go climb up and virtue signal from? Because this is getting ridiculous. 2 days of this nonsense now. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Are you in a hurry? You got a Klans meeting to go to? Oh, really, bitch? So I freaking just let in, and I blasted him with a whole bunch of shit, and I haven't heard another thing from him since. But these are the type of people that have been allowed to fester everywhere like cockroaches, and they don't stop, and they're very vocal, and most of the times they're really a vocal minority, but they're afraid to say anything to them.
Yeah, I know. They're browbeating people into submission, like I said, because if they did any research. And again, folks in chat here are smart. Everybody is smart on the panel. You guys know the Confederate flag, the Southern flag, was a battle flag. It was pride. It represented Southern pride for people, because people from the South were proud to be born in the South, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sure, if you're born somewhere and you're involved in your community or your state, you're proud of that. And there's nothing wrong with being proud of that at all. And for people to come out and say, oh my God, it's a racist symbol. It's a fucking battle flag, and it's not a racist symbol.
Well, hey, Drew, you want me to drop a little extra knowledge on you? The one that you see in the Dukes of Hazzard, it's not a battle flag. It's a naval jack. Because the battle flag actually on the fields of battle to distinguish between, because when they had confusion between their stars and bars and the stars and stripes, because they were so similar on the battlefield, when they started to wrap around the pole, nobody could tell them apart. That's when they came up with the Cross of St. Andrews, and they modified it and changed the fields of color. And that's how they created that, what you would know as the Confederate battle flag. But it was a square shape. Now, the one that's, rectangle in shape, like it's on the General Lee, that's actually a naval jack that only flew on freaking Confederate ships, which there wasn't a whole lot, since the Union pretty much blockaded the entire South early in the war, and most of the ships were destroyed. So they're sitting there getting offended about a naval jack that flew in a handful of fucking battles and was not like no major representation of the Confederate Army in any freaking way, shape, or form. That's another point.
all I can
Hey,
all I can say. No, go ahead.
let me butt in here real quick. Hey, those of you that are in the chat and you haven't subbed to Snow Dub, please do. He's awesome. He's a great guy.
That man is horrendously undersubbed.
Yeah, Snow Dub is amazing. Snow Dub, when he gets going with Kermit, man,
The Ribbit and Bigot show.
The Ribbit and Bigot show is must-see entertainment.
Hail Bigot.
Yep.
Ew.
Reach arods, and back kisses.
And back, y'all. You got to do the back kisses.
Back kisses all the way.
Nothing but love here for you, bro.
But the thing is, man, listen, Tommy.
I sent you a link, Snowdub, if you want to join us.
One of the things that my dad taught me when I was a kid, he said, 1, never be ashamed of your family name. Number 2, never be ashamed of where you come from. And number 3, have pride in your country. I mean, it's a given. I mean, and people need to learn that. People are not instilling that shit in their kids. Like I said, there's a whole fucking generation out there that just of sheep, and they got indoctrinated. And you know what? We do. We gotta say we're missing part of the thing here, because in a way, we kind of fucked up and failed too, because we let these people slip through the fucking cracks. We let them go to fucking colleges where they got indoctrinated with poisonous fucking ideology from these goddamn communist professors and everything else. And I feel bad for that, because in a way, we kind of failed the younger people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the millennial growing up experience was definitely different than the Gen X growing up experience. I mean, we were a lot of do-it-yourselfers, us Gen Xers. We had to figure shit out on our own. We were, latchkey kids and just kind of on our own, many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bear.
Yeah.
I'm going to cue something up, because Tommy just made me think of something, talking about the General Lee and stuff. I have a little clip. I found a little clip on YouTube that actually shows that the Dukes of Hazzard, that the Dukes themselves were not prejudiced or racist. Okay.
They absolutely weren't, Shellback. You know that. Another reason why they went after Dukes of Hazzard, and I'll say this while Shellback gets that together.
Oh, crap.
They went after this because it had family values in the show. And family values run, they're the antithesis of what these people are pushing for. They don't want family values. They don't want the idea of sitting together at the dinner table on Sunday and people actually, enjoying family time together. They don't want that. They don't want.
Drew,
they don't want a husband and a wife and the grandparents and a couple of kids and the dogs and everything else. They don't want that.
Hey, Drew. Do you know why else they don't want it? All those reasons that you're given are great, but there's another reason why they want to attack this and they want to go after it, because it's not the first time that they've done it. They've done this a few times over the years. Now, I think the last time was maybe about 10 years ago. It was the exact same scenario. They went after it and they started having it removed from product because they said it was offensive.
Oh yeah,
and then after the rage died down, because there's rage from the outrage culture, it always dies down, because once they get what they want, they forget about it and they go away. Once they forget about it and they went away and they didn't care anymore, they started putting everything back on the show and they started putting everything back on the merchandise again. But now that they need something else to go ahead and freaking white knight over for their new movement, well, they've got to go back over to that, because that's a symbol of hatred. They're just going back to the
Right.
same well over and over again, like they've always done.
So anytime you're ready, I can hit play.
Well,
There we go.
All right.
Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
freaking love that song.
Beats all, never saw been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
You two are going to show him good Duke hospitality. You understand?
Yeah, but Uncle Jesse, the chicken don't open the barn door for a coyote.
Now, the Dukes and the Hogs have been opposite sides of the fence for years. We always have been, and we always will be.
And the day we step over that fence, it's going to be a cold day, and
Now you watch your language and listen to me. You boys are reacting to prejudice. The good Lord put us here on this earth to overcome things like hating people for something they did to us in the past. Doesn't that make sense? Don't you understand that?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, good.
Damn right.
Rest in peace and Denver Pile.
Yep.
Okay.
That's damn right,
Hey.
right there. What he
Look
said.
what showed up and suggested. Are you seeing that?
Yep.
Right here.
Yeah, it's showing up and you suggested. That's so awesome.
And these awesome guys over here too.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
I can't read it.
let's see. Here's
it's the Raging Geek Jedi.
Yeah.
It's Raging Rhino and
Glenn.
yeah.
But
Hey, Snow. I had one of the what the hell was it? 1/64th model scale or scale cars, and I also have one of the big giant RC cars. Oh, and I also have one of the little slot cars.
Snowdub, get your ass on here.
yeah, the thing is like I said, they want to suppress that because this thing is all a fallacy. They're undoing all the progress that Martin Luther King made, Malcolm X made, real people that fought for, equality. They are taking and undoing all the progress. And it's purposeful because all it is manufacturing hate. And that is absolutely what they're doing. It's artificially manufactured. Everyone here knows that. And we need to expose it because there are so many people following along like sheep, watching CNN saying, oh, I can agree with that. Oh my God, I never knew there was so much racism.
That's because they've, dude, it hasn't stopped since in one way or the other, no matter how minuscule, since the 60s, all right?
Oh yeah.
Since the 60s.
Oh no, it goes back further than that, Shellback.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about especially after the civil rights movement, in some way, shape, or form, no matter how big or small, there's been that, we have to instill that victim mentality into the minorities in this country, and anyway.
Oh yeah, it's Shellback. It's been absolutely for decades predatory on minorities because they see them as dollar signs to make money off the backs of them, to get votes off the backs of them. They don't care about that, and the more division to them, the better. And it's a shame because no matter what your heritage is, I mean, hell, there's more oftentimes than not, your neighbors on your street are decent people. Your next door neighbor are decent people. People that you meet just chatting in the grocery store are decent people. You get to where if you swallow all this bullshit they're trying to feed you, you're going to turn into one of these drones that's like, oh my God, I see racism everywhere. I see sexism everywhere. And it's just an unending, it's like a toilet circling that never flushes. Like the flush cycle's fucked up. It just keeps going and going and going because it ain't gonna end. And RR he put it in perspective right there. Classic divide and conquer tactic. And that is exactly what they're doing. We're being invaded, infiltrated, and conquered without anybody firing a shot at us, and nobody is standing up for us except for the president to a degree. But other than you guys mentioned Ted Cruz, but other than that, I ain't seen nobody in Congress step up right now. Mitch McConnell ran off like a little bitch. You don't want to say nothing. And it's like, it's fucked up because, supposedly all this has been going on over the past few years. The Republicans have come out and called it out. And now all of a sudden, since this big operation started where they're, not even trying to hide anymore and they're trying to take everything over, hell, the Republicans just gave up. And it's like, what the fuck? We voted you in to stop this.
Well, Mitch McConnell's wife, I believe, is related to one of the Jiang Zemin, the former president of China. There's a lot to unpack with Mitch McConnell. Sorry, I had to chime in there on that.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's been going on for a lot longer than people realize. I mean, they've been doing this kind of stuff. I mean, you can look back all the way to the days when they had prohibition. I mean, that was just another form of cancel culture back then. And it's evolved over the years. It always comes back in circles, man. Everything comes back in circles. Think about how many times over your lifetime you've seen bell-bottom pants come back into style.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just as simple as. Or how about like the cut jeans, the jeans with the slices in them? That shit started in like the early '80s with freaking heavy metal kids.
Well, I'm just saying, for good advice, have a good firearm ready in your house, because eventually, if people don't step up and actually stop these people, we are going to be in a state of civil war. Because I'm telling you now,
Drew, we already are.
If it's a soft civil war because nothing's happening physically yet.
Oh no, there is physical already. I mean,
yeah, there's monetary evidence.
But I'm just telling you, as far as actual citizens fighting one another, that is going to happen.
It's already happening, Drew. This is what I'm saying. It's already happening. They had somebody just recently in Chaz or Chop or wherever it was, where one of those protesters guys shot somebody to death. This was just recent.
2 people
This is
were
already
shot.
happening. This is already happening.
They ate their own. They're fighting amongst each other,
Well, I just know that.
Also, a couple of weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, U.S. Marshals have been picking up Antifa leadership and arresting them. I watched a video, and they identified themselves as U.S. Marshal. They showed their badge, and man, they were armed to the teeth.
Good.
And he warned them, "Don't try and follow us. We will shoot you." And that's what they said. I was like, wow, they sound pretty serious. So basically, videos like that have been popping up, and they're rounding them up all over the place. And I thought I seen I think people are starting to ask questions about George Soros and his foundations that he has.
Well, did you guys? I'm sure everybody's heard about that girl that got beat up by those Black Lives Matters guys. There was like four or five of them. They start punching this girl in the face, screaming "Black Lives Matter." I mean, that's just another instance of it's already, the physical aspect is already happening. It's already been happening.
I don't know. I guess I hold out hope that we're not going to have a civil war and that we're going to have intelligent people and common sense will prevail. But, then you see some of the stuff that's happening at Chaz Chop or whatever it is, and some of the stuff happening in the cities and the defunding of the police. And that's something we haven't talked about yet, is what's happening in Atlanta. That's pretty disturbing, what's happening there.
Yeah, and that was a legit case.
That was a legit case of that was a good shoot. What would be called a good shoot? Yes.
Have you heard of the thing called the blue flu? Police officers are calling off all over the place.
Well,
in these bad areas. And what I'm hearing is they are demoralized, basically.
Hey, Bear, you're talking about demoralized. Did you see that video of that female cop that went to a McDonald's?
Yes, I did.
And started crying and breaking down.
Yes,
and people were laughing about it. And my wife told me, "Did you see the entire video?" I said, "The only one I seen was the clip version." So she said she brought up the original version, and I watched the entire thing. And the reason she was freaking out is because of all the people that were tampering with food at all these different fast food restaurants. And she had actually placed her order online anonymously and just went there to pick it up. And they refused to give her a meal. And they had her wait out in the parking lot, and they brought a coffee out to her and said, "Oh, well, we're getting your food together." And she was like, "I don't want it," because she knew at that point that they were going to tamper with her food.
Yeah, she handed the coffee back to her, didn't she?
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of shit that that these media outlets just don't want to talk about.
Well, there was like
three. Ridiculous.
There was like three or maybe more New York NYC cops that got sick from this place because they did that. They freaking they put like bleach or something in their freaking
yeah, they got real sick.
Coffee or some shit.
It's absurd. It's absurd, and yet there's still people that are just scared to say anything.
Yep.
When you don't say nothing, you're basically giving in to them. You've given them to them. You might as well get down on your knees like those ladies did in the video and start apologizing for whatever crime that you committed to them.
We need to get small businesses and some of the people that own restaurants, bars, things like that, and put a fucking sign out and say no leftists allowed.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I wouldn't be for that. No.
I mean, I understand. Look,
can't act like the enemy.
I know you can't, but at this point, they are. They're as far as I'm concerned, these motherfuckers bring it to the suburbs. It's like, bring it, bitch. I will shoot center mass without a fucking thought.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, Snowdub. Possible strike for cops nationwide on July 4th.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it. I've been hearing it's going to happen sooner. And also, truck drivers have said they will not go into states where law enforcement is not protecting people.
No, they're trying.
You know what?
Truck drivers already have problems with that kind of stuff.
Quite honestly, I hope it happens. I hope it does happen. Do you know why I hope it happens? I hope it happens so these son of a bitches, because they're going to go out in the streets and they're going to be rioting and they're going to be looting. And once that happens, and then everybody else in America who's too scared to say anything or is afraid to speak up, when they have it brought to their doorstep and their eyes are wide open, then maybe things will start to change.
Yeah, things will change definitely when I drop one of these sons of bitches.
Oh, hey, if I hear that, they've definitely gone on strike, I'm loading up my SKS.
Shit. I ain't playing, man. Somebody comes into this house, fucking breaks in. I ain't taking no chances with the elderly mom that I got to take care of with all kind of health issues and then my own medical issues. Fuck that.
Well, plus, if it comes down to a violent situation, who are you going to call if they're all on strike?
Yep.
Who are you going to call? There ain't nobody to call. What are you going to do? Place a call to the government? They're
I
gonna
told
have
my
plenty
mom
of
to
other
get a
problems
handgun.
deal with.
Yeah. Well, gun sales, I mean, shot the fuck up.
Skyrocketing.
If you look at the gun sales figures, Jesus Christ, man, it's off the chart right now.
Armalite rifles are selling like hotcakes.
Man, it's crazy, but you know you have to. I mean, these people have degenerated to the point of acting like animals, and they will, without a doubt, come to the suburbs. They've threatened to come to the suburbs. It's going to happen, and at some point, you know, people need to be ready to defend their homes. You're going to have to be ready to defend your home.
Well, at that point, you're not even just defending your home; you're defending your well-being.
Yep.
The well-being of your family and loved ones, because you've seen what they've already done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if 4 or 5 black guys don't care about punching some young white girl in the face on the street in front of a camera, do you think under the, you know, the unwatchful eye of any kind of police presence that they're not going to break in and do physical bodily harm to you? You know, these rioters and looters.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just the mentality of right now of these people. They just don't give a shit because they're getting away with it because government officials like that governor or the mayor, rather, you know, whatever, they're saying it's okay and it's fine. They're peaceful. Just let them do whatever they want. Oh, let's just back up and just give them room to do whatever they want. This is the type of mentality is just going ahead and it's embolden these people.
Well, I mean, the plan's laid out, Tommy. Eventually, they're going to, you know, they already are chipping away at it, but they're coming after the Constitution totally. They want to just wipe that out and replace it with their own set of rules. I mean, that's the goal.
Socialist Marxism is what it is.
That's the goal here. Exactly.
That would make Leslie Jones happy.
Well, of course, sure. I mean, so many of those types, Shellback, have drank the Kool-Aid. They're just marching along, following the Pied Piper, and that's why I lost a lot of respect for the people in entertainment because they're you know, even though this is a minority of actors and actresses, you know, or a pretty decent amount of actors and actresses, it doesn't speak for all actors and actresses. There's a lot of them out there that are patriots, that do love the country and know what's going on, but they don't speak up because shit, they're going to be blacklisted right now.
Hey, Toxic Man Flu, you got a link. Hold on, Shell. You got a link to that? The guy that caught underneath the semi truck.
Oh, dude, that was savage.
Yeah, I missed that one. I did see the one where there was a guy in a small car that was being harassed. I think it was a red small car, and he had someone underneath his vehicle, and he was moving. He was not stopping.
Well, you know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
True.
That's exactly it.
You know, my mom and dad taught me that you don't get in front of a car when it's freaking moving. It's common sense.
Well, hey, Drew, you know where all this really started, though, right? It started in the streets of white suburbia.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. Of course it did.
This is where it all started. It all started right there in the streets of white suburbia with these rich little pampered son of a bitches who knew nothing about real life world experiences, and they went ahead and they drank that bullshit Kool-Aid that, you know, socialism and communism is the way.
It's like I pointed out before, Tommy. We allowed this under our noses to fester because of the fact that you know, we had these really radical fucking you know, teachers that have now spread to the high schools and to the middle schools even, and the real radicals are the college professors, and that's what I'm saying. For God's sakes, if anybody out there, if you have like a college age son or daughter, you know, let them know, hey, look, if you're going to go for your college degree, take classes online. You know.
Hey, I want to ask Man a Horizon question real quick. Are you talking about the guy that defected from the USSR? because I was wondering about that. Can you hear me?
Who are you talking to?
He's talking to Nano Horizon in the chat.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if that was the defector from the USSR. I think he was a KGB agent, and there was a video of this guy in 1984 that was recorded, and he was talking about all of this stuff going on right now, and he was talking about how indoctrination.
He said that's him, Bear.
Yeah.
That's who I thought it was him. Yeah, I seen that video too. It started popping up recently. Imagine that. Another coincidence.
Well, you know, that's it's a problem, man. You know, we let this poisonous ideology spread, and that's on the generation that came before. Some of that's on us. Some of that's on.
Oh yeah, I seen the original video of this one. I seen from the other angle. Yeah, there's a video from behind the truck being shot of this happening. Yeah. Yeah, for we probably won't show that, but yeah, I seen the video of that semi thing, but it was from the other angle, from behind the truck, and people were running after the truck, and they were literally trying. They were gonna try and pull this truck driver out of this car and beat him to death.
Sure, it was going to be another Reginald Denny if that guy would have stopped. You know, and I applaud the guy for what he did. Because, you know, if you stop and you got a mob assaulting your vehicle, you're done for. You're done.
What is that? The guy,
yeah.
The guy from the Rodney King thing.
Yeah,
the Rodney King riots. Yeah.
Well, there was one guy that there's a video, and they did get him out. They pulled him out through the fucking windshield. They busted his fucking windshield and pulled him out of the truck and beat his ass, like, royally.
Well, that one dude that they pulled out of the truck during the Rodney King riots, Shellback, by all accounts, he should have been dead. They hit him in the head with a freaking brick.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm talking about this go round. It's like a damn 4-lane freaking piece of interstate or some shit, and the crowd had blocked the road, stopped the guy, and busted out the freaking windows and pulled his ass out through the fucking windshield, you know, and across and down the hood, and just the whole. I don't know. I don't even know if the guy survived or not, but anyway,
they're talking about it in this tweet here.
But
I highly doubt it, man.
But I wanted to play this one clip from off of Terrence K. Williams' Twitter.
He was killed. He was.
Yeah.
He didn't survive it.
But this black gal schools this white chick. Okay. Let me know when I can hit play.
Look at that white lady too. God, I mean, she's such typical like leftist. Like you can just pick them out. I mean, without even hearing them speak, you could tell.
Yeah.
Hey Wes, I'm waiting for your device to show up so I can add you back. What happened? Huh?
Can I go ahead and push play on this thing, Bear?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I got distracted because all of a sudden Wes was in the background.
I'm not even mad at you, baby. I'm feeling like fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden first. Watch what happens. You want to see black men get killed substantially? Like you've never seen before, put Joe Biden in and watch what happens. These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people. These are the same people who fought to keep slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. Blacks free. The Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually assisted in finding. But all of that history has been torn away. People say, "Oh, there was this big switch." There was never a big switch. The Union won because we had grown in the industrial era. So we were able to get trains and get supplies back to our soldiers while the Confederate was still riding horses. They were not able to get the supplies back fast enough, right? So what happened was once slavery was abolished in the South, the people in the South could no longer make their money from slaves. They had to move to the North to work in the industry to produce. And so the people in the North that already had established themselves in the industry moved to the South. And so that's where it was a transfer of people coming from the South to the North and people coming from the North to the South. There was never a big switch. So the same Democrats who hated black people from the beginning are the same ones who hate us now.
Wow.
And she's right. And that's the thing. They're trying to wipe out the history of that because it destroys their narrative. And that is the bottom line with this whole thing. I mean, God, it's so engineered and it's so just it's a sick human game of chess, and I fucking can't stand it because good people are being used. They're being used to support a movement that is so fake, and it's a scam. And we, collectively, again, using our analytical minds, looking at the big picture, you can immediately tell it's a scam when, if you follow the money, where the money is going when people donate to Black Lives Matter. It's already been proven 2 or 3 times that it goes straight back to the Democratic Party. It goes through a different fund, and then it goes to the Democratic Party. It's
Nano. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but Nano Horizon's got jokes. I like it.
Yeah, I saw that. But the thing is people know that. I mean, if there's anybody watching this stream, if you have a question about anything, I urge you to just go and look up UN Agenda 2030. That'll tell you all you need to know. Because right now, this push to get rid of emergency services, it's intentional and it's what they want. Because they want you to live in fear. They want you to be boxed in. Because after emergency services are gone, they're coming for your property. They're coming for your home. And then after that, guess what? It's going to be, you're going to have to live in quote unquote sustainable housing. And that's like a small pod apartment.
Problem, action, solution.
Yeah, Tommy's phone died.
Yep, that figured.
Yep.
But the thing is that's where we're headed. If this thing does not stop, that is where we're headed. Because if there's no emergency services, guess what? They're going to make a push for the UN to come in and assist and put in their own police forces.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that happens, man. A lot of gun owners in this country are not going to put up with that. Not one bit. That's
Snow Dub.
That's going to be in their way.
Snow Dub, come play with us. He sent you the link. Come play with us.
Yeah, check your DM, Snow Dub.
Yeah, it's disturbing what's happening. I mean, but it's predictable because it's all in the playbook. It's just seeing our fellow citizens not really wake up maybe in the numbers that we'd hoped.
Yeah. Hey Wes, have you heard about any UN vehicles being spotted? Normally that stuff pops up on YouTube.
I haven't, but I thought actually that they were already talking about the UN coming in.
Man, I'll tell you what, I am all for, racial equality. I appreciate people no matter what their heritage because, I accept people on their merit. I don't care where you're from.
We already have it, Drew. It's already there in black and white, man.
I mean, hell, I don't discriminate. You know, all the chicks I banged over the years, bunch of different nationalities, bunch of different skin colors. I don't care.
Yeah,
Indeed.
diversity. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You know,
nice buffet. Nice buffet. You're gonna have a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
From age 18 on, I was all about diversity.
Yeah. It's like a pack of Skittles, you know. Taste the
Exactly.
rainbow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
In the search list, I'm seeing UN troops to be deployed in Virginia. This was 5 months ago. Disarmament, demobilization, an integration officer.
Yeah, V-Star, you're awesome, man. I think you rock. Nano Horizon, you're pretty kick-ass.
So yeah, I'm not seeing anything really recent. I'm not seeing anything recent about UN vehicles being spotted.
Man, Toxic Man Flu, if you only knew over the years, bro. That's truth right there.
Well, it's all pink on the inside. You know?
Right. Exactly. So that. I want to actually, man, you know, Shellback, I would love to actually do a review of you know, you and I watched that movie come out last year. I actually saw it in one of the few movies I saw in the theater. You know, that movie about the Battle of Midway.
Oh,
it was called Midway.
Yeah, the latest and greatest version of it. Yeah,
it's actually really good.
I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen Dunkirk yet, and I want to see Dunkirk.
I would love to watch. I would love to watch that movie with Shellback and do a live stream review of it because.
Which one was Flags of Our Fathers? Were they? Was that Midway or was that Okinawa?
That was Iwo Jima
I guess it was Iwo Jima. Never mind.
Yeah.
It was neither one. Ha.
And the thing is, you know what's true story. Iwo Jima wasn't Iwo Jima. It was actually a different island.
Yeah, I think in World War II we went after a lot of the marshals and stuff, you know, because we took we had to take a lot of those islands before we could actually, you know, get onto the Jap mainland because of the fact that they had so much fortification. They had so many air bases too. That was why we had to take a lot of those islands, blow up.
I've seen the movie Midway. It's good.
Yeah, it is.
You can get the I don't know if it's the HD or the Ultra HD for $7.99 on Prime. It's like, wow, that's a good deal.
These days though, we don't have to do that. You know, with the modern. Excuse me, I got a mouthful of popcorn. With the modern aircraft carrier, yeah, we can just drive up to their front door and be like, "Hey, party's here! Grab your ass."
So I heard from someone that nobody in northwestern Indiana is wearing masks at all.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And fucking Hoosiers, I swear.
Oh wait, Shellback.
Hey, Shell.
Huh?
You realize I was born in East Chicago, Indiana?
I know.
Okay, just checking.
That was a sarcasm, dude.
I know.
Well, no, You were talking about modern carriers. I don't even
Fucking
think.
Hoosiers.
I don't even think the F-18 is meant to be a dogfighting plane. You can. I don't think there's aerial dogfighting anymore because we've got. Oh God, because the range on the missile now is ridiculous.
Well,
So, what are your thoughts on Space Force?
What do you mean, Shellback?
Huh? I mean, well, you've seen the Tom Cruise movie, right? Top Gun.
Yeah, I saw the F-14.
Yeah.
There was dogfighting back in
Right, but I mean, the Top Gun school, that's an actual thing.
Well, I know
that is a real thing. So that's where they go and they actually learn or practice actual quote unquote dogfighting. So yeah, that's the Top Gun school is a real thing. And it used to be in Miramar. When that movie came out in the 80s. But it has, I forget what year it was, but it has since moved to a base in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey, what's to stop them from making brand new F-14s?
Well, the F-14
with modern technology,
The F-14 was it could be retrofitted with the latest tech. The only problem is it was hard to service. They cut the F-14 because of the service costs to repair them.
Yeah, well, that's why they're all like the Hornets and the Super Hornets now and stuff. It's because it's all, pretty much 99% of the aircraft on board is the same platform, or
Yeah.
So, but no, the latest version. Actually, I don't even know if it's the latest version.
Well,
Maybe
they're flying F-18s, and I've seen they're flying F-35s.
Yeah,
I thought
but
the big thing with the F-18s was that they had thrust vectoring.
I think you're thinking of like the F-35 or whatever it is.
F-35 is it can take off on a carrier.
But no, but the F-14s, the last iteration and possibly the last two, but I know for sure like the last what did they get up to? What fucking letter? I don't know, D or E, I can't think. But anyway, you know how like in the movie, in the original Top Gun, you see them hit the freaking afterburners.
Yeah.
When they take off from the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The last generation of F-14 Tomcats didn't do that because they had enough thrust and power and shit in their britches that if they would have sat there with the afterburners on,
that was great timing.
It would have started freaking damaging the dam, the piece of the deck that gets stood up behind them,
Tommy, you gotta clip that.
Yeah,
that was perfect timing. Got to clip that.
but yeah, they at one point an F-14 Tomcat was prohibited from hitting afterburners until they were airborne because it would damage the deck of the ship. So that's how fucking badass those engines were.
Did you yeah, I think those were Pratt and Whitney's.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of pounds of thrust.
Yeah, you have to love a powerful thrust, right?
But did you serve on a carrier, Shellback?
I was I was attached to a squadron, except for when I was on shore duty.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was never what they call ship's company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that my command. I was squadron. So the only time I went to the boat was when the flyboys had to go practice, or for like a 6-month deployment. You know, what we called cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in my 10 years, I've got about a year and a half worth of sea time. So,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to. I love every so often watching watching actual videos, not movie videos of carrier ops with the F-14s taking off. Man, there's something awesome about watching their takeoffs. We watch the Hornets on carrier ops. They're but you watch F-14 carrier ops, man, it's bad.
Yeah. But I mean, like, dude, another talking about those F-14s and stuff, right? Like one time I got sent up to the the flight deck to do a little work on one of our planes, and it was during flight ops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I got the engine bay doors open, or with a one, and the thing that I was having to work on, I was actually having to basically kind of like bend over backwards and reach up behind my head and just feel it. I couldn't look at what I was actually working on. I had to do it entirely by feel. And wouldn't you know it, that there was one of those F-14s on the freaking cat. And the dam was up, right? The dam was up, and that fucking thing was still blowing my feet out from underneath of me.
Wow.
Damn.
So
sounds like a hungry kitty cat.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, did you guys hear that rioters tore down statues of Ulysses S. Grant?
Well, because he's an old white dude.
Surprised me.
Yeah, it happened. The Blaze posted it 14 hours ago.
Yeah, he's an old white dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, and even in my hometown here of Sacramento, they're taking down statues of like the founder of the city and all this weird bullshit. It's so stupid.
It is.
Those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
Or, I guess if you want to go, he who controls the past controls the present. He who controls the present controls the future.
So also with the occupiers in the Seattle Autonomous Zone, this was the postmillennial.com. The headlines reading that they prevented the police from responding to a fatal shooting incident.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, technically, if you wanted to be technical, those people that prevented the police from getting in there, they're going to be charged with murder. Because if they identified them, and if they were able to see their face, those people could be charged with third-degree murder for preventing a police officer.
Yeah, well, at least
to
accessory of some type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's some kind of trouble there.
Well, they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, so.
Telling me, man. Jeez. And I had someone I knew. I was being very light when it came to Antifa and all that. It was a conversation about education on Facebook, and basically, I was told that what I was saying. It sounded like right-wing talking points. Yeah. And basically, not liking, rioting, and setting fires and damaging property is considered a right-wing talking point. And that's pretty much what I was getting at, and emphasizing that there should be real education and real history, good and bad.
Yeah.
All of it.
Well, in a way, I should have seen something like this coming when they did away with corporal punishment in school.
I don't know if I'm on board with teachers hitting students. I'll tell you one thing. I do have one example of.
Dude, that's the only thing that kept some of the kids that I went to school with in line was they didn't want to get fucking beat.
Well, I'll give an example where corporal punishment worked because, as a Gen Xer, I came in at the tail end of where, my parents' teachers were retiring and the boomers were starting to come in. Well, some kid was going around with like a jump rope and was like whacking people on the back with the jump rope, right? And he got me and the teacher saw it. And I swear to God, I think she's out there having a cocktail and smoking a cigarette. And she said, "Hey, you, come here." And so we had these squares, that you had to stand on, to be shamed if you got in trouble during recess. And she's like, "Yeah, give him the jump rope." And so he gave me the jump rope and she made him stand on the square. And she's like, "I saw him hit you. You hit him." And so I went and I was like, "What?" I just like half-heartedly whacked him. And she's like, "He hit you harder than that. Hit him harder." And I went, whack. And she's like, "Get here." And she took my hands and put the rope in both hands and said, "Start hitting him." And I was just like sitting there beating this kid with a jump rope for like a good minute or so. And she's like, "All right, go back to class."
Hey,
Wow.
that's
that
all.
kind of stuff, that stuff ended after the boomers took over.
I want to go to that school.
It wasn't a very good school.
There's a couple of people.
I got a little something to add to that, but let's wish Snow Dub's soon to be 10-year-old happy 10th birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday
to
little
you.
Snow. Oh wait, I'm off.
Happy birthday to little Snow Dub.
Happy birthday to
you.
Hey, we're more in tune than we were for.
Yeah. You might have to get the karaoke machine out one of these days. Probably soon.
Now, what I want to know is why would you have a kid on Father's Day? Man.
No shit, man.
It's like my my younger. The doctors decided to cut his ass out 3 days before Christmas. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? But here's the good thing, though. After thinking about it for a while, I'm like, I mean, God willing, if I'm financially able, when he turns 16, I can, on his birthday, I can be like, "Hey, look out in the driveway. You see that car? That's yours." "Wow, thanks, Dad." Yeah. Well, the keys to it are in one of those boxes underneath the Christmas tree that you can't open until Christmas.
Yeah. What can I say? I used to watch a lot of Dean Martin movies, and I watched a lot of Rat Pack.
Yeah, we stayed a little bit more in tune this time, for sure. That one before wasn't so good.
Hey, Snow Dub, if you want to clip it, man, go ahead.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Happy birthday to the little dub.
Yeah.
Little Snow Dub.
Snow Kid.
But yeah, I mean, I've just been watching the shit for like, you know, I've been watching Tucker Carlson past few nights, and
oh man,
you know, they come after his show too because he's just speaking common sense. You know,
dude, they freaking
They went outside of his house, right?
He lost advertisers.
They doxed his ass a while back. Antifa did, yeah.
Yeah, there's
they showed up at his house, yeah.
There's a guy from One American News. He's a buddy of mine now because we had him. I think it was last year. We had him on one of the Bounding live streams. We had Jack Posobiec on, and you know, and Jack follows me on Twitter. I follow him. He's got a lot of followers, and he and I chit chat about the state of the country and stuff like that. And you know, he sends me news tips and whatnot every once in a while, just to keep me informed of what's going on. And you know, some of the people we know, some other fucking voices around YouTube and Twitter, Cassandra Fairbanks, she's like in the middle kind of, and she had to move because protesters actually went to her house, and she was scared to death, man. They were throwing fireworks at her house and a bunch of other shit, and she had a little kid, and she was locked up in bedroom with her kid, and she had her gun loaded.
Tough, man.
She was freaked out, and she moved completely to a different state because they are coming to silence people. So, you know, guys, I encourage you to speak out and fight the good fight. Use your platforms to do so, but you know, keep in mind these crazy fuckers will come after you.
Well, Drew, I mean, I'm like you, dude. I'm of the mindset that you know, if and even Tommy, you know, it's like, you know, if somebody is really wanting to start some shit with me, you know, I'll give them directions, and then I'll be on the front porch waiting on them. And when they show up, I'm dialing 911 and telling them what's about to fucking happen.
Yep, exactly. That's what you need to do, because it's like you know, these people are flat out nutsos. You know, you have to be ready, because they're stupid enough, they will come.
You know, which I don't know. So something else just popped into my head, right?
What's that?
One of the things that it's like, you know, when it was like kind of like on a downward slope or whatever, was when criminals were able to sue business owners and win a civil case because they tried to break into a goddamn freaking convenience store through the roof, and then the fucking you know, those whatever that shit is that you know they're made out of. Anyway, they fall through the damn roof, you know, and they break an arm or a leg, right? And they sue the business that they were trying to break into and rob or burgle, and they win the damn lawsuit. And I'm like, oh Jesus, here we fucking go.
Mm-hmm. Well, the main players in this that are trying to, you know, think about this. Okay, anybody out there that is paying attention to the Biden campaign, Biden is simply a figurehead.
Yeah.
Just
remember, hey, before you get too far, just remember, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well. See, but the thing is, you ain't voting for Biden. What you're voting for is the squad. Fucking AOC and them bitches are the ones that are pulling the strings. They are leading this fucking little coup in Congress to push the entire socialist agenda.
And he already fucked up. He already fucked up and said that he would choose a female running mate. So
yeah, well, that's exactly it. Well, AOC's already, on. She's got some position already in his campaign, and and that's by design. He never had a choice in the matter. This is all being done for him from on high. He is simply a Manchurian candidate. It's exactly what this dude is.
Yep.
More than that, do you think maybe a hashtag got him?
Probably.
Think maybe someone's got some dirt on him, something he did that maybe
Probably.
he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Well, his first wife died under kind of weird circumstances, didn't she?
Yeah, well, the thing is with this dude, he's
shit.
He was the easiest guy for them to exploit and get their agenda in there. That's why that's why he's going to get the nomination, or he got the nomination. He
basically has it locked up. Yeah.
Because he was the easiest to compromise.
So yeah, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Mind blown, man. So that guy, he looks like an infantryman from the look of him.
Yeah.
See, Raleigh, North Carolina, the skirmishes between the peaceful leftist protesters. That is just an oxymoron statement. Peaceful leftist protesters.
Yeah, it's not peaceful.
That's not peaceful. Stop lying.
Yeah, it's not peaceful.
Rest of the sane world are cropping up all over the country. But in Raleigh, North Carolina, it seems the rioting protesters were sending a message. Last night, the Juneteenth, 2 statues were toppled on the North Carolina state capitol lawn. The destructive protesters pulled down 2 bronze soldiers that were sitting on the base of a 75-foot Confederate monument. But in the new turn of events, they hung one of the statues, a cavalryman. Yeah, I see, I was right. By its neck from a nearby streetlight. The other statue, artilleryman, was torn down and dragged through the streets. The rioters left that statue on the Wake County Courthouse steps. It was later recovered by police. This was the base of the statue before the destructive mob vandalized and destroyed the monument. As these violent protesters are torn down, defaced statues and monuments all over the country, it's become clear that this isn't about slavery or civil war. They've destroyed statues of George Washington, Ben Franklin, and even Abraham Lincoln. Additionally, and even more tragically, defaced Boston's Shaw Monument, dedicated to the first all-volunteer Black regiment out of Massachusetts. The left is escalating while our Republican state and local leaders do nothing. The radical and now openly violent. Now, I don't know that. So they're saying their local Republican leaders that are in office aren't doing nothing. Is this true? I don't know if that's true or not. I really haven't been watching.
Listen, there's some truth to it because so like I said, people are being browbeaten into submission, and that includes, a lot of Republican politicians. They figure that, they're going to get doxxed, have their reputations ruined, whatever, if they even say anything out of line. And right now, to them, the political wind is blowing the other way, so they're not going to say anything because they don't want to lose their political careers. They're putting their careers in their positions as politicians over the will of the people. And you have to call it out. I mean, look, I'm a registered Republican, but I will call it out right then and there. A lot of Republicans have lost their fucking balls, and they need to find them quick.
Yeah.
I always know where mine are.
Yeah, I know where mine are. Yeah. I mean, Shellback, you and I are on the same page. Same with Tommy. I mean, it's like, as far as we're concerned, bring it, bitch. But the thing is, again, the more people there's people out there that's willing to stand up for the country and to fight this garbage, and you just got to keep getting the word out, because somebody is going to take a stand, and the tide's going to turn back. But using this platform, using whatever platforms that we get forced onto after they crack down on us on here, we'll get back to things no matter what. Promise you that.
Yep.
Ale.
I want to go into a bar and be able to have an ale and shoot some pool without worrying about no social distancing. Yeah.
Did it?
Normal.
I've actually, I might actually go into a couple of places just to see, because they've actually the restaurants and bars here in my town have been allowed to open back up for at least a few weeks now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been in any of them. But I'm curious, as to what they're what it looks like inside these days.
Interesting.
So,
hey Wes, you there? Wes?
He was, but I think I thought I heard somebody snoring a minute ago, though, honestly. But Wes, you there? Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
And pancakes.
Oh yeah, except without Aunt Jemima, you have to go.
And waffles.
Yeah. I swear that is so flippin' stupid. It's like, oh, we're gonna get rid of this picture in the name because it invokes a racist past or whatever. And it's like no, dumbass. That freaking image, okay? Even the original image, okay? It's like that is what they wore back then, okay? You're not gonna dress up in a fucking ball gown to make freaking pancakes in the kitchen, okay? Yeah. Oh,
So you got to come back for that, Drew?
I'm just like, I saw something that just pissed me off, because
I've seen a lot of things that just piss me off.
there's a tweet that I saw that's like a mob toppled a California statue of the great missionary and Catholic saint Father Junipero Serra. And I learned about Father Serra when I was in Catholic school. And
well, that's because Christian and religion is bad too. Yeah.
And he was a great man. And for them to, I mean, this makes no sense. I mean, there's just, at this point, God, man, I'm living in a world I don't understand anymore.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I've got to show that real quick. Hopefully I can find the tab.
Yeah. Wes fell asleep.
Yeah, I know. Let's see it.
Hey, Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wakey, wakey.
Yeah, I was listening.
Listen in between catching those Z's.
Just a little cat nap here and there. Yeah.
see, he wakes up for me, guys.
Let's see here. Go back to that and click that. Oh my God, that's small. So basically, we got the proof right here, man. Seattle's fine. Don't be afraid of democracy. It's fine, folks. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing going on.
Nothing
Shut up.
here.
Our leaders
Shut up,
are always
Jenny.
so reassuring.
Yeah.
Jenny, you're full of shit.
Yep, she is.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. You know,
Durkin's jerking us around is what it's.
I don't listen. I don't want to knock anybody that lives on the West Coast because I know Wes lives on the West Coast. But you know, he lives in Cali. I get it. But man, you know, Jesus, anybody with the common sense mind, it's gotta suck right now living in those states. It really.
Hey, Drew, that's because everyone loves Drew. That's what she said.
Yeah. I may have.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Read that, Drew. Read that.
What?
Read that.
Which one?
On the screen.
Oh, I feel better already.
Yeah, because Jenny said everything's okay.
Yeah. Well.
There we go.
Yeah, Jenny Burrito Brain.
Hey, do not insult burritos like that.
Hey, Toxic. Speaking of today, my arm might not have worked, but I still might have had a young lady stop on by and drop an afternoon delight. It was great.
Hey, a hand is a hand, right?
Oh no, man! You know, it's called the old method. Shit, we used to do it with pagers. Now it's with our smartphones, but still the same thing. You know, there's always a booty call to count on.
All right, you see that there?
Yeah.
I couldn't find the original tweet, but
the Kennedys.
Yep. Sure is.
Well,
and
before you play that, Bear, I'm gonna probably pack it in because I took.
I'm just gonna give a quick sample, and then I retweeted it. Those of you that want to go see that.
Pain meds got me, so I'm gonna get ready to go to sleep.
Man, I'm surprised you didn't crash out sooner, man. That's serious meds they gave you.
Yeah. Knocked me out.
Let's see here.
Well, Wes, they put me on a new medication. They put me on something called Neurontin. So, and it's supposed to help nerve pain. But it is, it's like you said, it's pretty hefty drug. I mean, it's not addictive or anything, but it's just pretty potent.
I knew someone that was on that. That's serious stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, as long as it helps, right?
I think that one's for you, Drew.
Yeah, I got some CBD V-Star too. Nice talks. No, I actually had a lady friend stop by. She came over to check on me.
Yeah, dude. Seriously though, like, you know, if you use the numb hand, you know, you ever hear of the stranger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy told me that.
You see what Nancy's saying?
Get off the Neurontin. Why, V-Star, what's up with the Neurontin, hon? What's going on with that? Oh, I did do that. Oh, I know. I mean, I was just asking about the Neurontin specifically.
I tell you, man, I really loved Norcos when I had them.
Yeah,
what are those exactly?
Norco is those are hydrocodone.
Oh, that's the synthetic one, right?
I've got those too.
Yeah, I can only take Percocet. Otherwise, anything Vicodin, anything Tylenol 3 or 4, I get itchy all over, and then I become instant asshole. No way, I can't. Nope. Man, I will scratch all over. No. And Percocet doesn't cause me to itch. I don't get moody behind it.
What do you rub your back on a tree like a actual bear?
Oh, I do. You don't want to be around me on Vicodin. No.
Yeah. Yeah, what Stephen Ernest said, gabapentin. That's what Neurontin is.
Man, these freaking names that they come up with for stuff.
Yeah, well, see, Shellback, dealing with this condition, it sucks because like my doctor, when I went to my doctor Friday, and he told me, he said this happened naturally in some way, like, and I'm kind of dumbfounded by it because you have all this arthritis, you got some bone spurs, and you got these vertebrae which are trying to fuse. He said there's barely anything in between them, and he said nerve pain's coming probably. Not only do you have a compressed nerve, but there's probably a slip disc in there a little bit. But he said, man, your neck looks like hell. He said, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the worst spinal x-rays that I've ever done. I've ever seen somebody's neck in this shape. And he told me, he said, I don't have really a good explanation for it, but I need to. They are trying to get an MRI. They've been fighting with my insurance company for like a week or two now, and hopefully, we put in another order for an MRI. They're trying again from the beginning, and I hope.
Good night, Snow Dub.
I hope it gets.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah,
Happy Father's Day.
Father's Day. I hope that I'm able to get the MRI this week, because I really want to just get on the road to getting this behind me. Even if I got to have surgery, I want this ordeal to be over, man. Because right now, I'll tell y'all, it's depressing. It sucks because I'm not able to do my work. I'm not able to write right now. I mean, I could write, but I mean, I don't want a one-hand finger peck with my left hand. It just sucks. And it takes forever to write an article when you're doing that.
Well, that's when you get one of those special ladies to come over and help you do that too.
Yeah. Okay. Hook up the booty call. Oh, hey, honey. By the way, when you're done with that, can you type out?
Yeah. After you take my dictation, I need you to take some other dictation.
Yeah.
Oh damn, man!
I'm sorry. Was that too toxic of me to say?
No, that's great. That's great, Shellback. But I just want to put this behind me. I was not expecting this at being 46 years old, because it's like I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, to be honest, I'm still young. What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't even. How do they fuse together? I haven't even heard of that.
It can happen if you have a lot of compression to your neck, and you get a lot of bone almost rubbing bone.
Damn.
After a while, the cartilage will just wear away.
Well, it's like when I was living on the other side of the country, I went to one VA medical center, and it's like that. Like this one doctor, I mean, he was like, seemed like he was ready to do freaking surgery or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back over to this side of the country, and I'm being seen about the same type of stuff, right? And they're like, no, and it's like, well, which the fuck is it? You got one guy on the other side of the country that was like, don't go skydiving because it could fuck you up or something. But I come over here and it's like, no, you're not that bad. So it's like, what the fuck, But anyway, because I've got like a freaking bone spur or something on one of my vertebrae in my neck. Like kind of like low. I think it's like the lower neck. Kind of down towards the shoulder blades or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, my problems are between the C5 vertebrae and the C7, and it's just it's 5, 6, and 7, and it's just it's a pain in the ass.
My deal, it may or may not have had something to do with falling off of an airplane one time.
Yeah,
but
contribute.
And the thing is, when I was in, it was different than like previous generations, but at the same time, it's like, you didn't go to medical unless you were like dying, because you didn't want to get accused of malingering or anything like that, right?
Right.
And so we were in the Gulf, and the difference between the air temperature and the water temperature makes like the ship and all the planes have like a freaking condensation on them, right?
Yeah.
So here I am, climbing up to the front cockpit because I was at the time it was my first command, and it was a EA-6B squadron. Electronic attack. So there's two cockpits in that plane, and I was going to the front one. Well,
yeah, because that had those. If I remember correctly, they had a very round windshield.
Yeah, and like I want to say it's like a Willem Dafoe movie, but Flight of the Intruder, right? Well, it's based off of the Intruder. The Intruder is like a 2-seater.
Yeah.
And then the Prowler is a 4-seater, because it's like I said, it's electronic attack. Radar jamming and EMP and all that crap. But anyway, had it been, all normal and nice and dry, when I stepped on the very edge of that boarding platform that's up by the front cockpit, it would have been fine. But at the time, like I said, there was all this condensation, and so I put my foot on the very edge of that platform, and with the condensation, my foot just kind of like slid on down, and there I go. The rest of me follows. So that little step, right? Basically, I got road rash clear up my freaking torso, right?
Ooh.
From it. And I very well may have kind of caught my chin a little bit, you know, and shoved my head back a little bit or something. I don't know. It happened. It happened so fast, you know. Like I was you know, down on the ground before you knew it, you know. And it's but I didn't go to medical, you know, because it's like, you know, you didn't want to be that guy, okay? You know, you just didn't want to be that guy. So, you know, so basically, you know, long story longer, I don't have the annotation or whatever I'm trying to say in my medical records from back then to be able to take to you know, the VA or somebody else, you know, for a disability rating or anything like that. I mean, I could still do it, but it's a lot longer of a row to hoe, you know, when you don't have the previous documentation.
You've got to watch the type of
anyway
cinnamon that you ingest, because if you basically ingest lots of cinnamon that's from the Orient and from the Thailand area and all that stuff, where there's a lot of that stuff being harvested, there's a toxin in it that can build up. It can kill your kidneys and your liver.
Yeah.
Now, the one with the least amount of that toxin is Mexican cinnamon from Mexico. And it's light yellow brown when you look at it. You can tell. The dark brown stuff, do not consume lots of that stuff because it's got a higher amount of that toxin.
The only cinnamon I've ever had was it's like the reddish looking stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that cinnamon's made from that particular cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the cinnamon that you want Mexican cinnamon. It's got the least amount of toxin. The Asian cinnamon, they import cinnamon sticks that are dark brown. That stuff's got a lot of that toxin in it.
I think I might have seen both of those kind of cinnamons in a strip club once upon a time.
Yeah, my farts have a lot of toxins. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it, boys. So
yeah, this is a good time to call it.
You can
good stream.
You can find me on my channel. I do the Pegasus Actual podcast every Thursday. You can also find me tomorrow. I will be on John Talks. I'm looking forward to that. It's my first time going on John Talks. It's going to be great. I think that'll be around 8:30 p.m. Eastern in the evening. And then I also write for Bounding Into Comics. You can find my work on boundingintocomics.com. Even though I'm going through some medical issues, I am trying to at least submit a story per week. So trying to stay active. I'm trying to stay engaged. And I do want to, again, say thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you specifically Toxic Man Flu for the support and the help. And, I appreciate y'all keeping me in your prayers. And, I'm gonna fight this and I'm gonna win. So that's it.
We got your back, buddy.
No, I know you do, man. You guys are dear friends, and I love you. I mean, that's just the bottom line with that. So
we all the back kisses you can handle.
Yeah. But one of these days, Shellback, and we got time. You and I will review that movie. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Which movie's that?
Midway.
Yeah, let me get in on that. Because I got that movie too. That'd be fun. It's a good movie.
Yeah, the 2019 one, Bear, the one that came out last year.
Yeah, Midway. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
I have it on Prime.
There's one that come out in '76 that had Charlton Heston.
That's old. It's been years since I watched that.
Yeah, you have to kind of differentiate because
dude, I grew up watching the OG one with wasn't that a John Wayne movie?
No, if you're talking about Midway from '76, Shellback, that had Charlton Heston held.
No, man. I'm talking like 40s or 50s. I'm talking about like the original Midway movie.
No, there was.
I can't remember who was in it though.
There was only one Midway movie, and that was the one from '76, because that actually used the one in '76 that they did that had Charlton Heston. They actually used some of John Ford's battle footage from the actual attack on Midway when the Japs sent attack waves at it. There was actual footage that he.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, of course, the 2019 one pops up. But let's see. Where is it? I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but it seems to me like there was one before that. But also too, even maybe I'm thinking about Tora.
Yeah, there's Tora. There's one with John Wayne called In Harm's Way. That's naval officer reprimanded after Pearl Harbor, is promoted to rear admiral and gets a second chance to prove himself against the Japanese. That might have been one of them that you're thinking of.
Which, I mean, Tora is basically what happened after Pearl Harbor. So I mean that's, but I
Tora covers Pearl Harbor, and then like basically the '76 version of Midway was the sequel to Tora. Because they actually even used some stock footage from Tora in there.
Okay, for those of you, you can find everybody that's been on this panel in the info below. I'm showing you right here. FinalDeathStar is in there. Everybody is in there that we rub elbows with. And these guys here, you can find the links down in there. So yeah, you'll always be able to find just about anyone that's streaming with me on my channel. You'll find all of them below here.
Yep. Good night, folks.
Absolutely. Good night.
And Shellback, where can they find you?
On here and on Twitter, Shellback TJC.
Not to be confused with THC.
Yeah, no H. Yeah.
You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast, where we talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk. I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. Hope to see you there. Thank you, my friends.
And thank you, chat. You guys are awesome. You make this just more fun because of the interaction that we have with you. We really appreciate you. And have a great night. And I see Justin out there. How you doing, Justin, man?
Yeah.
You have a great night, man. And all you out there, thank you for coming out. And we will see you next time. Hail to you, hail to us, and hail to everybody.